if I do?
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
You heard all about it on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. We're doing the show.
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
All right, let's go. Here we go. An action-packed Monday show. November 1st, 2021. Covino, Rich. Spot, what's with the mask? Is that your Halloween costume?
Yeah, I'm, what's it? Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. Finish him.
Always my favorite character.
Yeah, crazy news to start the show. We will get to in a minute regarding Steve Covino. But hey, we're here. We're going to give you something today. What's up, Patreon? Day one. Our report card is in. How'd we do? That's right.
Oh, my God.
Adios, mio. Well, here's where things stand.
Or don't.
Here's where things stand or don't. So last night, we do our Fox Sports Radio, Covino and Rich,
Give you one shot for this.
Sunday Fun Day.
Oh, there you are. Look at that.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
We do our Sunday Fun Day show last night. I could tell Covino is hurting, but Fox Sports is easy in the programming sense of we talk for 10, 12 minutes, take a commercial. Talk for 15 minutes, take a commercial.
Yeah, by the time you feel you get going, you're done.
It's better than ESPN. I'll give you that. It's better than ESPN. ESPN, I felt like it was like stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. There's actually less commercials on Fox. But there's a chance to every 15 to 20 minutes to regroup, take a breather, go to the bathroom, get a sip of coffee, drink some Gatorade, some water, whatever you need if you're not feeling well. And then it's like, all right, buckle down. You ready to do another 15 to 20? And you can pace yourself. It's different than when we go for 2.5+ hours straight on this show, right? There's no break. That's why there are times where it's like, dude, I got to pee. I got to run.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Because it's you guys and us. One big Covino and Rich happy family.
Yeah.
But I woke up to a text message early this morning.
Same.
And usually when I get a text message early in the morning, it's my mom who can't sleep or Doug from Dougie Fresh Picks telling me about a stock that's about to pop or fail. So I'm like, oh no, what's going on with the market? What's going on with my mom? And by the way, market looks great today. And I think my mom's okay too. But you know who's not?
Focus.
We got a message from Steve Covino. I'll read it to you word for word.
Word for word.
This was at 1:24 a.m.
124.
1:24 a.m.
Hold on.
We got a picture of Steve Covino
Oh, yeah, that was 124 a.m.
with a surgical mask on, with droopy eyes, giving everyone the middle finger. Want me to share this with you, Spot?
Oh, yeah, send it to me.
That people could play along at home?
Pull it up. I'll pull it up.
So at 1:24, I get a message from Covino. And granted, last night Covino was a fucking warrior. Warriors, come out and play. He was fucking Steph Curry. He was Draymond Green. He was a warrior last night. Covino buckled down. We did the 3-hour Fox Sports radio show. And Stephen Anthony Covino was the fucking, as he called it last night on Fox Sports, it was his Michael Jordan flu game. He delivered.
Hang on.
He brought it.
Hang on.
And there he is. That's him last night.
Right.
1:24 a.m.
I got to get the full brunt of it, though. There it is.
Yeah, the middle finger. And he's still wearing the same Tommy Hilfiger shirt that he's been wearing for 2 weeks. You think that smells rank?
Yeah, I'm sure he. I don't know.
I don't think he's
I'm
washed
sure
it.
he's.
I don't know. I don't think he's
I've
washed
done
it.
laundry. I've done tons of laundry.
I don't think
showered,
he's washed it.
I've been cleaner this past week than I have in my entire life because I've been trying to stay on top of that.
So Covino sends us that photo of him with a middle finger and then nothing for 3 hours. And then we get a text at 4:06 a.m. that says, I'm staying here overnight, so I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. Feel free to do the show. So I'm assuming that picture you can see above his head is one of those hospital bed clickers.
Let me see that again. Hang on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was almost like figure it out on your own at first. I was like, where is he? Yeah.
That looks like. I don't know. Yeah, it's either a hospital clicker or a heart monitor. I can't.
Yeah.
I need to see the other end of it.
So
I don't know.
he said he'll be in the hospital.
Many things.
Feel free to do the show. And then he said, I think I'm admitted here for the next 5 days. So plan ahead. Feel free to do the show. We'll come up with a plan. And that's where we left off. I talked to him this morning. I called him. And here's what he told me. He goes, we discussed everything, but here's what he told me. So just so you guys know the exact Covino diagnosis. He has COVID pneumonia and was having respiratory failure when he was sleeping. His oxygen levels would drop when he dozed off into the 80s. So that's why he's getting the treatment. And they said he should be all good. They said he should be fine. And he has to do 4 to 5 days of, I always mispronounce it.
Remdesivir.
Remdesivir. Let me write that down. I always Remdesivir. So he'll be on 4 to 5 days of Remdesivir. And that apparently will get him back in action. But yeah, when, you know what it is, it seems like there's that moment where he thought he might be turning the corner, right? Like, hey, I'm going to feel better. It's getting a little better. And then when that pneumonia part of it kicks in, that'll knock you on your ass. So hopefully.
If the virus is in your system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, virus. We're talking about viruses. Your system is going to attack it with everything it has. Mm-hmm. And then once it does that, your body's going to start to feel better. But if the virus isn't gone, then your body's going to amp up again. So clearly he didn't expel the virus. So it's settled in his lungs. Like I know what he's talking about, but I'm not by any means. I don't think I was near as bad as him, even though I'm still, I still feel like shit.
I mean, he's,
he had it. So he had high fevers.
Yeah. High fevers and
multiple days in a row.
And
so it's like,
and it turns into
definitely
pneumonia.
got it worse, which makes sense because scientifically speaking,
he was more vulnerable.
Yeah.
So yeah, he said we talked about it the other day about how the nighttime is not the right time. And I guess that's what was happening to him when he was going to sleep and he was real irritable at night. That's when his levels were off. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I especially if I don't know if he's a stomach sleeper or not, but I had to sleep on my stomach all week. Like usually I sleep on my side. I've had to sleep on my stomach all week because I've had the same thing where I'm like, I wake up in the middle of the night gasping for air.
Mercer saying the more you keep moving, you need to keep moving because the more you sit around, it's going to set in.
Right. Yeah.
So is he talking about actually moving or is he saying like moving on the virus early?
No, moving, like physically moving around.
He's saying like Covino needs to like take walks around the hospital and do, he could, so no sitting still. Swoot is right, Kim.
Yeah, that's why after my surgery, they had me out, like, even though my chest was not completely together yet, they were like, get up and walk. Because they don't want blood clots. They don't want things to settle. They want you to move. So, I mean, I'm sure he's just been sitting around all week. Same. I've been laying in bed for 3 days straight.
Can you sleep on your stomach?
Yeah.
I feel like
I have to. I honestly think I have a mild form of sleep apnea.
I went to
if I lay on my back, sometimes I'll
I went to the internet, which has all the answers accurately. You're never going to find misinformation in the medical field on social media, that's for sure. But I read an article about how there's all these ups and downs and positives and negatives of sleeping in different positions. Like, you're supposed to sleep laying on your back. Sleeping on your stomach or on one of your sides is not good. There's like, I never even thought about this.
You know, Elisa, you know Elisa.
Yeah.
We love Elisa. She even hit me up when she found out we had COVID. She's like, make sure you sleep on your stomach because something about the way your body metabolizes the gases or something she said, I forget. She's like, but make sure you sleep on your stomach. It's better for you. But I just do it in general because I do think I breathe better.
I feel like every night if I sleep on my stomach, I wake up with a dead arm because I put my arm like above my head. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, dead arm. Pins and needles. Spot, sleep apnea is no bueno for your heart. Get your study done. Have you got heart issues and sleep apnea?
I really do need to get a sleep study done.
Well, any questions? Any thoughts?
It was also always weight related for me. Like when I was really heavy, I'd snore and everything. So, but like once I shed a little bit of weight, like even Kristen says you don't snore as much.
Oh yeah, I mean just in general, you probably be on way better conditioning now. Think about how your conditioning was.
Yeah.
Before you had your heart surgery and before you lost weight.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure when I was at, this is probably bad and I shouldn't admit this, but I was at the gym when I found out Covino was positive and I left immediately. Mm-hmm. But I was on the treadmill running and I think I've conditioned myself to like keep my lungs active. So hopefully that's why it didn't settle in my lungs. Plus I've been using my incentive spirometer.
Well, by the way, this is week 1, starting, when's the 4th? Friday? 4th is Thursday. That's when you need to show your Vax card at the gym spot. Did you know that? Did you get your email from the gym?
Oh, I didn't.
Starting on Thursday the 4th.
Well, yeah, it's a countywide initiative.
It's a countywide initiative. Yeah. So you have to show your Vax card starting in 4 days, wherever you go.
Clearly my Vax card means shit.
Indoors. Well, what do you think it was for you? Do you think it was that you got the Vax because you were quick to the punch, no.
Yes. That's
no faking?
Yeah, I was due for a booster in, let's say 2 weeks. Because it was like the 6-month mark.
Is everyone going to get the booster or you think no?
You got vaccinated, I feel like, within the last 2 months.
I got vaccinated in July.
Oh, well.
So August, September.
That was your second dose was July?
Yeah, beginning of July and mid-July were my 2 doses.
Like when did Sarah get her second dose?
Sarah was like a month after me. So yeah. Sarah got end of July, like, middle of August.
It makes sense. Like it's much more active in your system and her system. It's on the way out for me. My wife just got the booster, thank God. Like before this. So, it says something about the vaccine.
Could Covino get the turbo booster? Turbo boost.
Well, now he's got natural immunity for a bit.
He's got natural immunity, and think of all the turbo boosts he does. He's going to be just fine. I asked him. I said the number one question when I called him was, "Do you remember your phone charger?" You would think that's the number one question. After I asked how he was doing health-wise, I just know that when you're sitting there by yourself, apparently the number one thing people forget when they go to the hospital is their phone charger. A lot of times because people go there thinking, I'm not going to be here long.
You know, it's funny.
And then you're there a long ass time. And there should be someone going around selling phone chargers for $100. They would make a fucking fortune.
Our buddy Aaron from Running Aces, who provides these masks that I love. I have a bunch of them. They're the best. Because they have the ear hooks, but they also have a little thing that goes around your neck. He sometimes sends us like the show branded chargers as well. I give them to my wife, and she's like, "These things are the best." Like patients are constantly asking to charge their phone. And I'm like, "Oh," and she just pulls out the portable charger out of her pocket and lets them, and they're like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." So it's
fucking wild,
right? Hospital, it's the worst because you're going in, you think you're only going. No one thinks they're going into a hospital for multiple days.
That happened to my in-laws, Sarah's mom, and my her stepdad Mike. When they got COVID, they went to the hospital and forgot their phone charger. One of many people. People do that sometimes when they have a baby. You go to the hospital like, all right, we're going to deliver our baby. You're fucking sitting in the hospital with your wife or girlfriend about to have a fucking kid. And you're like, wait, are both our phones dead? Wait, we didn't forget a charger? So, remdesivir is going to be what puts Covino back on his feet. From what he said the first dosage, I don't know if he was feeling better, but he said he felt less irritable. Does that make sense, Spot? He said he felt a little better just from the first dose. But from what I understand, 4 to 5 days of a treatment. Is that because the pneumonia kicked in too? Because I know not only my in-laws, but I know a few people that have had the remdesivir treatment, and some people it's like 1 or 2 treatments. Other people it's like 4 or 5 days. Is it based on the degree?
Yeah, I get. Yeah,
I'd imagine so, right?
Yeah, I mean it affects everybody,
yeah,
differently. Like it's I think we've seen that, which is why there's no universal like this is bad. Everyone think, oh, I had it for 3 days, I'm good. It affects everybody, and then like somebody else got it and they're on a ventilator and died.
No,
so it affects everybody differently.
It's
not everybody.
It affects everybody different, and that's the scary part. That's why when people are like, well, is it like the flu? Is it deadly? Is it a pandemic? When people question the virus, the only real answer is you're never going to know how it affects you. You really won't. Honestly, I'm not saying you're going to die, but what I'm saying is you don't know. Healthy or not, preconditions or not, you never know. It's like anything, right? It's like you get hit with it, and like Covino, 45-year-old healthy guy. It's fucking having a battle with this annoying thing. A week of feeling like shit. Now he's got to do a week of treatments. Sucks. At the end of all this, Covino will be the guy that was taken out for 2 weeks and had like a really shitty 2 weeks of dealing with this bullshit virus.
Like we're the perfect case study.
We really are.
And this goes to you, Wes.
But just to show you,
and other naysayers.
Just to show people how it affects. We are honestly, someone said that, Spot. They said we're a really interesting case study.
We're the perfect case study. Not only for vaccinations, but for how it affects a control group of people. We clearly all got the same form of the virus.
Yeah.
Because we're all together and we're all sick at the same time.
I just don't know. That. Did we get we don't know if we had the Delta though, huh? You don't know that. You don't find that out.
I don't know. But we clearly all got the same form.
Yeah.
You were vaccinated much sooner or much
I was
closer to this, so it affected you the least. You were sick for a day,
and
you bounced back, and you can't taste jalapenos.
And my taste is back now.
Mine's still gone.
I
can't honestly, I can't smell shit, and literally can't smell shit.
It's like mostly back, but it's one of those things where I felt like I had a cold. I felt like I had a cold. Honestly, if there was no such thing as coronavirus and COVID-19, I wouldn't even have brought it up. Like it was like I had one night where I was like, man, I feel like I have a bad cold, right? Then the next day I was like, I'm a little lethargic, and then I was fine again.
Yeah.
I had the vaccine a couple months ago. You had the vaccine when it first came out.
I had the vaccine 6 months ago in April. I was my second dose was in April.
And what they're saying, Spot, did you see they're saying the Pfizer one, which you and I both got, is wearing off quicker than they thought it would.
Yeah, like my sister works for the county in New Jersey where we live, or used to live, and she's in charge of testing. Now she's in charge of vaccinations. And she said most of the people that are getting it were from a group in the spring. So and they were Pfizer. So that it's showing that the effectiveness is wearing off, which, I'd rather protect myself. So it shows. I tried to protect myself. I got it because it was a while.
Yeah.
A little bit, I got it, but not as severe. The person who wasn't vaccinated got it severely.
Yeah.
And now is in the hospital and it's settled into and all that kind of stuff. So we each got the same thing.
Yeah.
But it affected us differently.
But you don't really know though.
And the only control is the virus. Honestly, the control is the virus. The variable is the vaccine. And it shows what the vaccine does.
Well,
that if I were doing it, I mean, I know it's a 3-person case study.
Yeah.
But if this were my results, you would show
that the
vaccine has an effect in your body.
Vaccine's effective, but it wears off over time, is what we've come to the conclusion of on your big 3-person study.
On my big 3-person study.
On your big 3-person study.
Actually, a 4-person study, because I'll include Sarah. You said Sarah didn't test positive, correct?
Yeah, Sarah is...
and she got it a month later, so that's my control.
Sarah is just maybe a little closer to having her vaccine. I don't know. Listen, we wish Covino a speedy recovery, but then it gives us this weird feeling of, you're worrying about your buddy. You're like, can we send him anything? Does he need some food? What does he need? But then it's like,
well, I can't go near a hospital right now. So
it's like, where is, not saying like, do I send him a little something like food? Does he need that? Or does he just want to get in and out of there? And then it's also like, well, what do we do for the next week of the show? And we were like,
I think you're while I enjoy just sitting here bullshitting with you, I think you're underestimate the understanding of the public.
No, I don't underestimate. I think you overestimate people. That's one thing I think you always do. You overestimate people's strangers' kindness. Let's see. Are the kids and Sarah okay? Yeah, the kids. Emmy is. I'm going after the show today to go with Emmy to get her official test so she could go back to school tomorrow. That's the plan today. But yeah, Emmy couldn't do her trunk or treat at school, and I was happy they were still able to do it because I didn't want Emmy to be the kid why the school function was canceled. You don't want to be that kid. It's like the kid that gets hit with the baseball pit. Remember Barnando got hit in the face with a baseball, and now everyone had to wear a weird baseball helmet because of Barry? I didn't want Emmy to be the kid. Why is trunk or treat canceled? Because Emmy got COVID. Like, I didn't want that to be the kid. I didn't want Emmy to be the kid. So, Spot, your wife has been in the other room, right? You guys are staying in separate areas.
I'm hoping between the fact that we, quote unquote, caught it early, even though we didn't, and that we were sleeping in separate rooms as of last Saturday.
And she just got her booster,
So I'm hoping that, and we don't really like touch each other, except for the weekends. So the fact that it was a Saturday, that weekend hadn't kicked in yet. So we haven't really been intimate in a week. So we were fine. I think we're fine.
By the way, I thought about that.
She's good.
I thought about that recently. Not about you, Spot. About couples.
She's good.
And do couples hit a certain point in their marriage where they actually have to schedule and designate sexy time?
I feel like it's
with kids. It's different. I'd imagine for you at any given moment, you guys could jump on each other and just fucking go at it at 7 p.m.
And that happens.
You could be watching what's the show you guys watch? Not Law and Order.
NCIS.
NCIS. Who's the goofy guy with the white hair?
He's not goofy. He's a legend. Mark Harmon.
No, but he's got a goofy haircut in the show.
He's a Marine in the show.
He's got a. The only person that has a worse haircut than that guy is the owner of the Raiders. Mark Davis. What's his name? Davis.
That's his character. His character has the haircut. He's a Marine. He's a Marine for life.
You guys could be, your wife could be getting hot and bothered by Gibbs, and all of a sudden you guys could jump on each other at 7 p.m.
And that happens.
That can't happen in this house. This house is all right, kids are sleeping. Now we're exhausted. Go to sleep. Like, I almost feel like scheduling booty time across the USA is a thing. I think that's going to have to happen eventually in everyone's life. Let's see. Clove Man saying he plans on getting his kids vaccinated as soon as possible. Yeah, I know they're getting closer and closer to giving the thumbs up, right, with the FDA for kids.
Oh, I think
being vaccinated.
Wasn't it approved for 5 to 11?
Was it approved? I know. I have a friend whose son is going to college, and a lot of colleges, Spot, are making it mandatory. Like, if you want to live on campus and go to this school, like that's like part of your college application. Like, and attach your vax. Let's see.
I mean,
what's the best way to encourage Covino?
Yeah. FDA authorizes Pfizer's COVID vaccine for ages 5 to 11. Shots could begin early next week. So this week it starts.
Let's see. People saying, what's the best way to encourage Covino? He's going to be alone in a hospital for a week. He's going to need support from us. I'll think of something. I don't know what, but we'll think of something.
I feel like he's just sitting there festering in his grump. So make him laugh. That's
Yeah,
all,
send
that's all
him
you can do.
send him
Don't ask him how he is.
Send him a dumb meme
Just send him a dumb meme.
or a fat kid falling. He loves fat kids falling. Spontaneous but planned is the way you got to go. That's from Lisa. Cliff saying spontaneity is great, but after many years, hard to achieve. Scheduling is not a great solution, but after a while, spontaneous sex gets planned too.
I think we have like, not that we don't schedule it, but I think we have an assumed morning that everything just happens.
Really?
Yeah, I think, yeah. And then there's the spontaneity can come after.
I think my dad insinuated that to me because every Saturday I would stay at my grandparents' house, and I think my dad insinuated like, you and Sarah need some breaks with the kids. I mean, that's why I sent you to your grandma's every Saturday night. I'm like, oh, was that booty night for mom and dad? Saturday night party night? That's why we went to grandma and grandpa's and had milkshakes at McDonald's every Saturday night? Damn. I hope Covino is watching good stuff on TikTok and not getting depressed.
I picture your dad seducing your mom like Ron Burgundy.
It's possible. It's possible.
Maybe, yeah.
Hey, listen, you know what you could do for Covino, truthfully? Just keep subscribing and tell your friends to subscribe because I know he'll be refreshing since it's the first of the month. I know he'll be refreshing to make sure that you guys all stayed here and you encourage your friends to join us on Patreon because, again, the first of the month is our, as you've coined it, Spot, our report card, right?
I didn't coin that.
You look at it and you're like, oh, people are sticking with us? Good. We passed last month. A+. Then if new people sign up, you're like, ooh, the word's spreading. If someone drops off, you're like, what do we do?
By the way, people are asking. Jordan is in town. She's just not.
Yeah.
She hasn't been. Or no, did she?
No, she's staying with her aunt, I believe.
Yeah.
So she's not with Covino. So he was alone. Let's see. Those kids, those type of things scar a kid. Mom and dad sexy time? That freaks you out. First of the month. All right, so we'll go over a couple things, and then you guys could be part of the idea of what we're going to do this week. Because I was thinking about possibly doing maybe friends of the show. Covino said, yeah.
Like, I'm not quite there to pick up the slack yet. Like this is struggle for me. I've been laying in bed for 3 days, and I'm still like, my head's in a fog. That's the worst for me. I feel like most of it has gotten out of my body. Mm-hmm. Still in my throat. Every sickness settles in my throat, but I still like I feel like my head's in a cloud. Like it's almost dangerous for me to be driving here every morning because my eyes are foggy and I'm just following the car in front of me.
What's foggy about? You just feel like you got brain fog? Is that a symptom they say?
I mean, it's like I'm just drained. I'm out of it. Like it's hard to focus. Like actually focus my eyes.
Now, I'm thinking to take that stress off of you as well, Spot, I guess.
Plus, I'm wearing, just so people know, I'm wearing a mask because I'm not clinically resolved yet. I know I'm in your house, but I'm still sick. I'm still positive. I'm still coughing.
Yeah, but you can't. I don't know. I just
your wife's not positive. I don't need to be expelling anything out of my body.
Okay, I'm just saying if you are wearing it out of consideration for me, don't do that because I
would
can't
love
get
to
double.
Just come over there and fart and cough in your face.
You can't get double COVID. As far as I know, you can't get double COVID.
I've heard there's something known as
you can't get it
continued exposure, where it can just like if you're in a place where there's COVID positive people, they can just keep feeding each other COVID so they don't resolve as quick. I've heard of that. I think. I don't know.
Let's see. You feel depleted, Spot.
Yeah, I'm just like
physically and emotionally and foggy. Now, I was thinking, would a good solution be some random old Covino Rich clips? Would the solution be perhaps...
My solution is rely on the understanding of others.
Not when people are paying for you, bro.
Then...
I'm just saying,
we have different views on that.
I think we do because I think you think everyone's like at the end of the day they're customers, so I feel like they want something. So even if you throw something up, some type of content.
Throw my fucking dick up there.
So I was Julie's interesting that she said that. She goes, get Nicole or Nico or someone. I was thinking about doing short shows this week with Nicole.
Oh, Jordan, by the way, Jordan is at his place. They've been separated. She helped him get to the hospital, everything. So Jordan is there.
Oh, she is there. Okay.
She is there. So thank you, Jordan. What a woman.
So I was thinking about doing short shows this week with maybe Nicole, maybe Mark Zito, maybe ask our buddy Nico. I was thinking about like a way to just do a couple abbreviated shows just to do something, just to give you guys a little something since it is the first week of the month. Let's see. Yo, you're all sick. If people demand content from you, they're insane. Yeah, but you should see the feedback we get. Spot, what meds are you taking, being that you're...
I've lost all hope in the human condition then, if that's the case. I'm just hopped up on vitamins. I take zinc and vitamin C and a multivitamin, and I've been okay. Like, I haven't been congested, thank God. So I don't know.
Someone said, what about Dinkle Beans? What about a Stanley T cameo? Word up. Well, I'll make some phone calls after we get off in a little bit, but I just figured, being that it was the first of the month, you know, Covino's in the hospital. It's noteworthy to pass along to all the people that care about Cove, and that's a lot of you guys. But I would say the best bet is that, right? Spot, maybe a couple fill-in type things.
I mean, you're dragging me here. I might as well make the most of it.
But I mean, like, you don't think that takes the pressure off you to have other people join in and hang?
Oh yeah, but I still have to come here and start the show, so it doesn't matter. If other people are here, I don't care. It's no skin off my back.
Let's see. Can you take Mucinex? Does that stuff work with COVID?
Yeah, because Mucinex expels things, but I feel like I have nothing to expel. I feel pretty dry. I don't know.
What is
it's not. I don't have a chest cold. So
what are you
I'm
feeling
okay.
right now? Besides the fog, like what are your lingering symptoms? Because
no smell and taste, which sucks. I do have a little bit of stuff. My throat's very it's not sore, but you can hear it's kind of weak. I don't know. And just fatigue, just overall fatigue, like
just
no strength.
No strength. Your gains, bro.
Oh my God, my gains.
You're gonna go back to the gym all skinny.
I've lost like 6 pounds in the past week. It's probably all muscle.
Not having gone to the gym much like you.
Oh, my appetite's much smaller. Like I tried to have my normal egg mountain in the morning, and I feel sick afterwards.
Well, that's because you're not working out to desire those calories.
But still, I still need to eat.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Like, I'm with you on the fucking weird muscle atrophy thing that kicks in. But that'll come back as soon as you get back to the gym. But I feel like a scrawny ass version of myself. When you can't go to the gym or do anything, you're feeling a little out of it. That feeling when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, oh my God, atrophy's a thing. Lisa said she lost all her muscle mass. Muscle atrophy spotty. Damn, I'd be so miserable if I had COVID. That's Jen.
That's why I'm wearing a sweater or sweatshirt, so you can't see my...
It's good. You know, Spot, it's good season for that. Sweatshirt weather.
You can't see my weak arms anymore.
So, I'd say we'll figure out the rest of the week later today. I hit up Tudmaster Tommy per Covino's request.
My brother would gladly jump on.
You know what? I mean...
And him and Covino are essentially the same person.
If your brother's down to do it, I am...
Wait, what time is it?
I mean, we don't have to do it at the same time either. Again, this is weird circumstances, right? So we'll figure out something. Let's see. Tommy and J-Rock. Yeah, Tudmaster Tommy, maybe J-Rock, maybe Nicole, Mark Zito. Maybe we'll do a couple quick shows just to give you guys a little something. But, Spot, I know you got the fog. But just a couple quick things and then we'll go. Is that cool with you?
Sure.
Any thoughts or questions laying in bed all day is the worst. You get up dizzy, feeling all droggy and groggy.
Yeah. I mean, I forced myself today to kind of get going, but I feel like it's a day too soon.
It's gray sweatpants season. I'm wearing gray sweatpants too.
But dark gray sweatpants.
Hog time. Jason Brown.
Oh, let me tell you.
He must be so happy about the fucking Saints, but equally miserable about Jameis Winston.
Let me tell you, COVID's like a dip in a cold pool. I feel like my penis like shrank.
Well, Covino said it's gone. Like Covino said his...
it's my, like any sort of, you know how like you always kind of have like a little bit going on? Nothing going on.
Well, that's not COVID. That's any sickness. When you're sick, like your penis, you don't even get a chub in the morning or anything. You're like, where's my non-existent penis? I have a cold.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah, when you're under the weather, your penis hibernates. Let's see. Spot the velvet fog.
Yeah, man. It's weird.
Let's see. It's hot as hell. No sweatpants season here. That's from Rolando. All right, well, let me give you a couple quick headlines and we'll move on. We'll get out of here. I just thought these were topical and pertinent to the day, only because they also involve Covino and Rich. I would love Covino's parents, but that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that.
Oh, should I call 10?
Let's see. You guys need to get some rest. Let Steve know we're keeping him in our thoughts, crossing our fingers. Yeah, everyone's making sure that Covino's good. I'm certain he'll be fine. He's a strong guy.
I find your excessive energy to be incredibly annoying.
Do you want me to be somber when you... Isn't that called carrying the workload?
Yeah, I find it...
What do you want me to do?
No,
be like, guys, it's really like... Do you want me to be like that? Is that what you prefer? I feel like I'm trying very hard to be extra because
I know
you're fogging and Covino's out. Isn't that what you want?
I want you to be like down here in misery with the rest of us.
All right, so man, you see Jameis Winston?
No,
I guess
you
we'll
have
never
the energy. That's the annoying thing. Like, why aren't you as sick as the rest of us? That's what annoys me.
Well, you want me to be sick?
Case study.
I mean, what do you? I mean,
case study.
That's silly. Derrick Henry might be done for the season.
Oh, Yellowstone this weekend. Oh, maybe I'll spend the week watching Yellowstone.
Jameis Winston, he's fucking out now. I'm mad about that because Jason Brown's trash talking experiment we'll never see it through now. Because if Jameis Winston's out for the season or a substantial amount of time, the whole how is Jameis Winston when he gets a legit shot outside of Tampa with the Saints, we'll never quite understand how that plays out. And that sucks because Jason Brown was talking so much good smack talk back and forth. You know, some things you'll never see come to fruition, and that's one of them. Unfortunately, I was so curious to see if he was going to fail or be awesome, but we'll never know. Let's see. Von Miller getting traded to the Rams on a random update. Well, here's a random update. We had someone come out to us, and we kept it a secret out of pure professional courtesy. And that person came out of the closet, I believe, today or yesterday.
Shut up.
Yeah. Cal Penn, friend of the show.
No way.
This is a Covino and Rich. If you were to say, what's a Covino and Rich hidden secret from years ago that we put in the CNR vault and never said a word? We had Cal Penn, and it was a pre-taped interview. Here's the catch. We interviewed Cal Penn, and we were in New York spot, so this had to be... Were we visiting New York, or was it over 5-6 years ago? It was in the New York studio.
No, it was in the New York studio.
Which means this is 6 years ago?
It was. I feel like it was.
Yo.
I'd have to. You know what? Let me see. I can figure it out.
Let me tell you this story. Cal Penn has always been a great friend of the Covino and Rich show. Harold and Kumar. He's done a bunch of shit. I like Cal Penn a lot.
I love him. He's great. He's a great guest. Always been a great guest.
He was like, yo, I want to do an interview with you guys, but I can't do it during your showtime. And we said, you know what? When it was someone we cared about, we would do a pre-tape or a post-tape. meaning not during the hours of our show.
Yeah, this was 2015.
2015. Cal Penn's on our show. And in the middle of a conversation about just life, like a general conversation, Cal Penn's like, yeah, and then my boyfriend and I did such and such. And then Covino even made a joke like, haha, your boyfriend. He goes, no, Covino, just, I'm gay. And we're like, oh shit, man. Oh, that's cool. And he told us like some big story about him and his boyfriend. And we're like, yo, Cal Penn just came out on our show? Fucking wild. Good for him. We get a call. Spot gets a call from the publicist.
It wasn't even a call. They came, like they were doing a tour around Sirius XM.
They came to you.
They come back to the studio. They both did. And said, you know, hey, listen, like they asked, hey, listen, would it be okay if you kind of remove that? He's doing some stuff coming up and we don't really want to make it about that and all that. So
yeah, he was doing stuff with the White House, with the president, all these big things. And he's like, hey, you know, truthfully, I'm not ashamed of being gay, but now's not the time for me to come out publicly. And we said, out of respect for you, dude, because we like you a lot and you're our guy. Yeah, sure. We won't say anything. Spot clipped that part out of the interview, tucked it away to never be spoke of again. And we respected his wishes and said, all right, if Cal Penn didn't want the world to know he's gay, your secret's safe with us, dude. And, you know, we could have broke that story. We could have been assholes and said, no, you fucking said it. We're airing it. But we said, you know what? He's a good dude. Why are we going to do that to him? Right? That was the stance we took.
the relationship is more valuable than the scoop.
The quick, salacious TMZ, Cal Penn's gay. That didn't mean enough to us to do someone dirty that we thought and still believe is a good dude. So he comes out, decides, oh, maybe I didn't want to at this moment in my life. We said, all right, you know what? Cool. We love you, dude. We won't air it. Yeah. And then he came out yesterday that he is engaged to his boyfriend.
He's releasing. He has a new book out, and I think he discusses it in his new book. So,
well, Cal Penn, your secret was safe with us, and I'm applauding you today for courageously coming out and letting everyone know the real you. But he's engaged to his boyfriend, and we knew it, but no one else did. You know? Do you think anyone else would give that professional courtesy? You see it on like TV shows, like, yeah, like you said, you see it on all types of shows where it's like, hey, I hate to do this to you, but I have a source and I have to print the story. I don't know. I thought it was more important to be a good person, and if he didn't want us to say anything, not to say anything. But hey, congrats to Cal Penn. He's engaged.
Look at him and his. There he is.
There he is.
Him and his future husband. Good for them.
Cal Penn. I loved him on How I Met Your Mother too. Congrats to Cal.
Look at that woman wearing a Covino Rich shirt in the back.
And that's great, Spot. What is that? So she got the red V-neck. His partner of 11 years. So hey, look at that. Good for Cal Penn. I wanted to bring that up today. Just a couple quickies, and then we'll let Spot let his brain go back into the fog. Yesterday, being a big football Sunday, Aaron Rodgers had the day off, being that they played on Thursday. And by the way, how impressive when you really think about how Aaron Rodgers beat the Arizona Cardinals on Thursday Night Football. We haven't talked since because we were on Thursday and then we're back today. With wide receivers you've never heard of in your life. Guys, other than Randall Cobb, these dudes, experts and fantasy football players, had no clue who the fuck these wide receivers were. Yet Aaron Rodgers found a way to win. But more impressive is that Aaron Rodgers grew his hair out for almost a year simply for a Halloween costume. Aaron Rodgers was John Wick for Halloween with his dog.
It's so weird.
And we joked about, what's with Aaron Rodgers' long hair? What's with the fucking flop out of the back of the helmet? What's he trying to prove? What's the look? And then it's like, oh, he had a long haircut just for a Halloween costume? And then I thought to myself,
it's commitment.
that is a commitment that none of us think about in time. Like, you'll think of a cool Halloween costume idea and you're like, oh man, if I only had longer hair. Oh fuck, I just shaved. Like Aaron Rodgers said, next year I will be John Wick. And because of that, yeah, look at the pictures. He looks fantastic. Aaron Wick. Because of that, he decided to grow his hair long for a year.
Look at this motherfucker.
Motherfucker's gonna cut his hair now and be like, well, that was just for John Wick, everybody. But it looks great. I'll give him that. It's a good costume. Packers taking the North, Greg? I think so. Minnesota had their chance last night to keep it close in that division, but when you lose to Cooper Rush, by the way, yesterday, what a day for backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Cooper Rush, Trevor Siemian, and Mike White. All guys that got a win versus teams that they were supposed to lose against. But the Jets won. The Cowboys won with a backup quarterback. And Trevor Siemian beats Tom Brady. So good day for backup quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers was John Wick. Cal Penn's out of the closet. Kyle Busch is in trouble because he used the R word. Now, if you don't know what that word is, it's a word we threw around our whole childhood, but we realized is wrong. Calling someone retarded. Did you see his post interview? I sent that to the group text spot if you want to just pull that up real quick. Some guy cut him off and fucked him up in the race. And I could tell his anger. He was just angry at the moment. He was angry about everything. But even in the moment, you can't throw out the R word. It's wrong these days. You can't do it. You see it's about?
Who is it?
Kyle Busch.
Oh, yeah, hang on.
Yeah. He's angry. You could tell. He's like, yo, some dude fucking cut me off, fucked up the race. I'm guessing he fucked up the race or something. And by the way, yesterday, the Jets winning, it did have trap game written all over it. The hottest team in football.
It's a trap.
The hottest team in football playing the fucking Jets, and they lose. All right, listen to Kyle
Well, he
Busch.
drills my ass coming out of 4 for no reason.
Whoa.
I mean, where was he going? What was he going to do? Spin me out? He was trying to do a Harvick is what he was trying to do. For what? For second place? To do what? He wasn't going to transfer through with that? It's freaking retarded, man. So stupid. I don't understand these guys. I should beat the shit out of him right now is what I should do, but that doesn't do me any good either.
So he's mad post-race, and, you know.
That started off way different than I thought it would have.
Yeah, dude, he's like, fucking guy cuts me off. What is he trying to do? Fucking retarded.
He's in my ass. He was spinning me around.
I should kick his ass, Seabass. And yeah. I don't exactly look to NASCAR drivers either, Andrew, to be a guiding light for PC language and behavior. But I guess when you're Kyle Busch and you're in the spotlight, you can't be calling people retarded. However, we've discussed on and off the air how the Black Eyed Peas got a fucking mulligan. For all the lyrics and all the songs over the years, like we have just totally decided that we forgot that Let's Get It Started was actually Let's Get Retarded.
I know.
And Fergie and the Black Eyed Peas are like, yeah, let's just never bring that up again. That was within the last 10 or 15 years. So Let's Get Retarded by the Black Eyed Peas.
It was acceptable.
Free pass. Free pass. So Kyle Busch. Mischief Night.
What'd you do?
Thing of the past spot. I mean, you live in Sherman Oaks. I live here in Woodland Hills. The idea of kids going around with shaving cream and eggs and toilet paper, is that make you old to even have those memories? Like,
I don't know.
Like, does anyone, I'm looking at the in-show thread. Did anyone see an egg, a glimmer of shaving cream, TP, not on anyone's bunghole, toilet paper in any trees or on a house? Is that behavior just so 1980s and 90s?
No, I'm sure it happens places. I'm sure it still happens.
I think kids now, and this, I sound like a fucking boomer, but Covino the other day was talking about how kids don't play anymore outside, and we had that friend in need about the guy who said he wants his kid to get out there and play. Stop being on the fucking devices all the time. I get it. It's how kids play and interact now. FaceTime. They're playing Roblox. They're playing Call of Duty. They're FaceTiming. They're making TikTok videos. A different world than we grew up. But are there any houses that got egged, toilet papered, Or is there shaving cream anywhere? I feel like the day after Halloween in my hometown, the streets had the remnants of shaving cream. There were some smashed pumpkins. There was some TP fucking rolling down the street.
Billy Corrigan was there?
Yeah, Billy Corrigan was there. Yeah, it was crazy. Kids are more supervised now. There's fewer chances to run amok. I agree with that statement, Spot, because if you see the trick-or-treating scene, even being out here the last couple of years in LA, people are set up in front of their houses with tables and drinks and music and creepy fucking fog.
My ring back east was going off nonstop all day yesterday. I think because it fell on a Sunday, I think a lot of kids went out for the day and were trick-or-treating. They had that luxury.
Emmy was so excited yesterday too.
I think it's regional. I also think for every we like to think all these kids are just woke weenuses. I think for every woke weenus, there's still a piece of shit out there.
Too many
who loves egging places.
I wish, but no eggs in sight. Look at this, no shaving cream. I wish it happened in my neighborhood. Ron, I know we're old guys now, so it's like, get off my lawn. But I don't think I'd care so much if I saw a little shaving cream in front of the house. Approximately 200 kids last night. This is from John. No eggs, TP, anything. Everyone's with parents and they're supervised. That's another thing. You used to go trick-or-treating in your neighborhood by yourself at a pretty young age. Like your mom or dad would go around with a wagon for a while, but then you got to an age where you're like, yeah, mom and dad, I'm going trick-or-treating. I think even kids that seem old to me are still showing up with their parents. I really do. And trick-or-treaters came late last night. I was happy to see that because Emmy's job was to hand out, she was excited to hand out candy to the trick-or-treaters.
What'd you get this year?
So here's the thing too. I got Reese's Pieces and Kit Kats. And then I got one bag of
mini Kit Kats?
No, like not full size, but like the bigger ones, not the single sticks.
Two sticks.
Sarah said I messed up our candy by dumping some Tootsie Rolls and Dots in there.
Oh, that's the weakest.
I said, no, I said, you need a variety. Give the kids an option.
No one wants that shit.
I love Tootsie Rolls.
No one wants that shit.
The little flavored ones?
No one wants that shit.
They're fucking great.
No one buys those candy packs.
But Emmy was excited to give out candy to the other trick-or-treaters. That was fun.
We had peanut M&Ms, regular M&Ms, Twix, mini Snickers, mini Milky Way.
Spot. To wrap up the trick-or-treater conversation, which, by the way, you don't see as much of it the way we used to back in the day. Can you show people your video?
Pulling up videos is such a pain in the ass.
Sorry, but it's so worth it.
I don't know if I can.
Last year...
It requires too much brain power.
Last year's Spot put out a bucket of candy. Like, help yourself.
Well, yeah, because...
You live in an apartment.
I live in an apartment, but also no one was interacting. Last year, no one was interacting.
That's right, yeah.
Like, we didn't even think anyone would come around. We didn't want to interact with anyone. I put a hand sanitizer in my bucket of candy last year.
So...
Because that's how, sensitive it was.
So... If there's a way to say it, if not, no worries. But Spot said one random weirdo in his building took all the candy out of the bucket, and he saw him on the Ring doorbell.
I call him Kramer.
The guy
he looks like Kramer.
He's a fucking peculiar looking guy. And Spot said, "Yo, he's back at it." And Covino and I were like, "What do you mean?" This is before Cove went to the hospital last night. Covino and I were like, "Yo, you serious? Same guy?" Spot has Ring doorbell footage of this doofus literally rifling through Spot's candy and taking it all. Spot, if you want to just hold your phone up to your one shot, that's good enough. Just to show people this guy rifling through. I love that people are saying they saw trick-or-treaters because some neighborhoods, you feel like you don't get that anymore. You speaking of all this, Greg said he got the dad text. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. A little closer spot. I think we're good. Look at this doof. He's rifling through your own. Yeah, look at him.
Playing,
yeah. Well, he's taking handfuls, not just one piece of candy.
He's there for a good this is a 30-second video. He's there the entire time just rifling through.
He's a grown man in an apartment complex stealing your candy.
Him and another grown woman. He's a weird guy. They're really going at it.
It's like a man. Who are they? Two grown-ups. What a douche. Outside your door. Rifle. Oh, Kit Kats. Oh, Reese's. Oh, wieners. So is Mischief Night a thing of the past? I think it sort of is. I don't think little Ben's going to come to me in 10 years saying Dad, did you get me shaving cream and eggs? That weird feeling of going to 7-Eleven, trying to buy a dozen eggs on Halloween and them saying, what do you need eggs for? My mom's making an omelet. Those little excuses. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think that's like the equivalent of kicking a fucking can down the street. What do you mean? What did you do with eggs and shaving cream?
I feel like you're on a list now because who said it? Gabe said it. The house with Tootsie Rolls got egged. You're on the list for next year.
Yeah, you know what?
Who fucking hands out Tootsie Rolls?
You know what? Tootsie Rolls to me.
No one likes Tootsie Rolls.
But you know
no
what?
one.
I would never tell the kid, take one only. Help yourself. So if they want to take a Reese's peanut butter cup, if they want to take a Kit Kat, maybe they want
No
a
one
box of Dots. I would take a box of Dots.
likes Tootsie Rolls. No one.
Yo, if you're in Canada, do they hand out Cheesies? Because if they gave out mini bags of Cheesies, is it lame to give out chips? Remember that one family that would give out like Dipsy Doodles or potato chips, like the mini bags? Who's giving out Dipsy Doodles? Jeez. All right. Let's see. 2 more quickies, and then we'll call it a day. I have one good story. But first, Spot, I think you need to tell the world what you told me last night.
Oh. Well, obviously, I had a lot of time on my hands the past week. I decided to finally sit myself down
Yes.
and watch
Yeah.
Ted Lasso. And not only did I sit down and start watching Ted Lasso, I finished both seasons of Ted Lasso.
Boom. And?
I do have to say, it took me on the most beautiful emotional journey
I knew you'd love it.
that I've been on in a minute.
Bruv, I knew you'd love it, bruv.
And I feel like, and you think it's because of Ted Lasso. It's not because of Ted Lasso. It's because of the show as a whole.
Yes.
And the people in the show and seeing the journeys of all the characters and a lot of emotion. I did a lot of smiling, not a lot of laughing. Occasional laughing.
Yeah, a lot of smiling.
A lot of smiling, a lot of feel good. But I got to tell you, I cried. I don't know if it's because I'm sick, but I cried like so many times.
I cried too. We don't have Covino here to call us mas puto. But I cried as well, bro. I cried.
I had like emotional bloodletting a few times throughout the show, and it was a really like an up and down and just an overall good show, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Hey, Spot.
Yeah.
Never gonna give you up.
I mean, come on.
Never gonna say goodbye. Yo, was that the Rick Astley church scene?
That really didn't. Honestly, it was before. Leading up to that is what like destroyed me. Like all the.
There were moments, not to give anything away, but what about when fucking Roy and Jamie Tart embraced? There's a lot of moments where, like, man, this show will get you.
No, it was all the personal stuff really that got to me. I don't know. It made me think. Made me think about stuff.
Yeah, sassy hot.
Sassy's hot.
Sassy.
What was your weird thing? Like, you didn't like the Christmas episode. I thought
it was great. I
thought it was very emotional and beautiful.
I came back the next day and said, I totally retract my thoughts. Because at first, Covino's like, I heard the Christmas episode was corny with the with singing. And then I was like, yeah, it was, Covino. And then I went back and I said, wait a minute. There was like 20 seconds that was a little corny.
Yeah.
Besides that episode was great.
By the way, how great is what's her name's voice? The woman? And
it's so funny. It's like when Neil Patrick Harris did a dance number on How I Met Your Mother, just because they're like, we need to show the world. Like they just wanted to find a way to show the world that, oh yeah, Rebecca could sing.
What was I going to say? Oh, and I thought that, what was the other? Oh, the Coach Beard episode. I thought, honestly, felt like me.
Fog? Just one big night of fog? Oh, how you've been at parties.
Like, I feel like my life has unfolded like that. And it's I found it so funny.
To know Spot is to know that
if anyone watched the show and watched the Coach Beard episode, that's my life.
There have been times where we've been in New Orleans, Miami, Vegas, that we've been random places where it's late at night and you think the night is done, right? You think the night is over. And somehow you're like, all right, Spot, see you in the morning, bro. Fist bump. You call it a night. And Spot's like, yeah, I'm just going to walk around for one more minute at the casino. And then you find out that Spot had a 3 more hour adventure that he ended up, and then I was in some club, and then I was at this other place, and then I was playing high stakes roulette. Like, Spot, you've had those nights where you've gone off and lived a fucking whirlwind of a bender.
Yeah. So I found it intriguing. But yeah, it was a really I recommend it. It's a show I recommend. Start watching it and it'll pull you in.
Well, if you want to be in the loop on something Covino's watching that I'm sure he'll want to discuss when he's back, he told me to start
This is next on my
Midnight
list.
Mass. Is this on Netflix or is this on?
Netflix.
Is it a docu-series?
No, it's a
movie?
It's a drama show. A drama show.
Is it based on, it's like a show. It's not
It's from the people who did I want to say The Haunting of Hill House. One of those shows that's also on Netflix. But it's a very like mysterious, dark, I don't know if it's supernatural-ish, but it appears that way. Religious kind of implications and all that kind of stuff. So it looks very dark and thriller kind of.
Okay. Well, definitely worth checking out. Midnight Mass. I'll watch it. You season 3. Did you ever watch You season 1 or 2?
I watched 1. We couldn't get into 2.
Couldn't get into it. Well, Joe Goldberg. I have a theory without giving anything away. Every problem that dude has is because of that woman love. Like, Joe Goldberg's not a bad guy. He gets fucking dragged in. So, Triple G, drama show, couple things to watch. Anyone else watching the cheesy teen version of I Know What You Did Last Summer on Amazon?
That's only you.
It's only me. I might be the only guy watching that. That's corny. That's fun. I think it's worth the watch. If you need something really cheesy and a little creepy. One more story, and then we'll call it a day.
Did you say war story or more story?
One more story.
Oh.
I have one war story. I'll tell you a war story and a more story.
No, that wasn't an invitation.
No, my war story is World War II, Germany.
Keep moving. Oh, okay.
My grandfather was a paratrooper. He jumped out of planes. And when my grandfather was in Germany, he found a stray puppy, little pup. And my grandfather took this puppy around with him during World War II in Germany. When my grandfather jumped out of a plane, he had the little puppy in his pouch when he fucking jumped. My grandfather got shot multiple times on his way down. And when he got shot, the puppy got shot and took one of the bullets.
Oh.
While my grandfather was wounded, he dug a little hole, buried the dog, and put like the gun there as if it was a soldier buried there to his little pup. You know, they went back to they told my grandfather's family that he was MIA and presumed dead because a family nursed him back to health. So when my grandfather showed up
It's like a movie.
in Brooklyn after World War II, his mother almost fainted because his mother, my great-grandmother, thought he was dead. That's my war story, Spot. You said you thought I said war story?
That's great.
Crazy
It's
story,
not
right?
your story, but that's a great war story.
Yeah. My grandfather was one of the people also that had to transport all these fucking bricks of gold and all these things into armored cars with guns pointed at them when they were taking all the things they took from the Germans. A French family nursed him back to health, Clovis. So that's where he was, France. A family in France nursed Bill Dempsey back to health. Great story, right? Wild. That's my war story. You asked me, you said war story. So I have a story.
Not your war story.
I have a story for everything, Spot.
It's not your war story.
All right. I have one story to end the show. And then your fog could go away, Spot. If you want, I'll even drive you home if you want.
How are you going to drive me home? My car is here.
I'll drive you in your car. Oh, you drive stick shift. You can drive yourself home.
Fuck.
You in a fog is better than me trying to drive stick. Wait, hold on. Alex Berman saying that's not real? That's a fucking real story. I swear to fucking God. My grandfather, that was his story.
It's a big fish story.
My grandfather.
Now I know where you get it from.
He would tell me all these amazing stories, and that was the one that he he had a little puppy, and the puppy was shot when he was shot. And
Really, Grandpa?
you want to know? You want to know a story? I'll give you the follow up to that. They couldn't get one of the bullets out of my grandfather's leg. He was at a wedding years later, and there was blood coming through his pant leg of his suit, and somehow the bullet started poking at his skin years later, and they were able to get the bullet out years later. But he was at a wedding dancing, and all of a sudden his leg started bleeding. The bullet was like right there. If not for that French family, I would not be here. Yes, that is true.
And they also taught him how to make croissants. And since that day, he's made the best croissants in his life.
Let's see. People saw the video of me driving a stick shift truck with my father-in-law.
I'm not letting you drive my
You don't know?
It's a 6-speed. You couldn't handle it.
So
I mean, really, once you get out of first gear, it's all
easy from there. It's all easy from there.
Honestly.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So you and I, Spot, have one story, and I want to see if anyone has any stories where they were abandoned. By the way, Bill Jackson saying 30 years later, his bullet hole randomly bleeds. Yeah, that was what he said. I remember our grandfather telling me, "Oh, I was at a wedding dancing, and my leg started bleeding, and like where the bullet was, it was lodged away that I guess they finally got it out. I don't know." So, you and I, Spot.
I was abandoned. There was this one time I was jumped out of the plane with some guy, and we both got shot, and he just left me where I was, and then like this French family nursed him back to health.
Yeah, I should write all this down before I forget it, because he was my grandfather was a great teller of tales, stories.
Like the way you're gonna have to, if you're gonna sell the story, like sell it to someone.
Yeah,
you need to make it where like, and they had a young beautiful daughter who helped nurse him, and
that's my grandmother.
The military sent him back to the U.S. and all these years he kept in touch, and then, you know, he flew back as an old man to find her. I think that's the plot line to Letters to Juliet.
It could be.
Never mind. Shit.
So yeah, that was
something
his,
like that, where like
that
he goes back
story.
and finds her.
You know what's so funny?
I got it.
Yeah.
You go back as an adult because you've heard this story from your grandfather.
That's a plot. That's a plot line of This Is Us when they go back to Vietnam.
No. I'm saying you go back and then you fall in love
with the
granddaughter
of the family that nursed him
to health.
And then I abandoned my own family in doing so. Yeah, I can't do. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We'll work on it. Call Josh Crook.
They couldn't kill the puppy in the movie. Maybe, I don't know. So the crazy part is old people just had a great way of telling stories. And the funny part is I never asked him about jumping out of a plane. I don't know why. I was never more curious, but I just took it for granted. Like, oh, that's cool, Grandpa. You jumped out of planes in the war. And I'm like, isn't that something you need to sign up for? Like, they don't just assign you like you're a paratrooper, do they?
They assign you.
They assign you you're a paratrooper?
I feel it, yeah.
I don't think that's the case.
They train you. I don't think they like...
He had to volunteer for that, I'd imagine.
Everyone was sent
you think they could just... You think everyone's...
World War II. It was different back then.
But you think that everyone was equipped to be like... You don't think there were people like, fucking, I ain't jumping out of a plane? Hold on. Paratrooper, was there a sign up? I'm going to have to look that up later.
Like, you know what I always wish I asked my father? He was apparently like a cryptographer.
Yeah.
Like he studied how to, to code things. And I never knew that. I saw it on his like DD 34. 34? Whatever, his discharge papers. And I'm like, he took like a extensive training on being a cryptographer. I'm like,
that's the thing. I saw something. Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about how he wants his great grandkids and like his legacy to live on. And people want their legacy to live on. Like if you're Tom Brady's great grandkid, you're going to know my great grandpappy was the best football player. People want their legacy to be remembered. Isn't there a part of you that thinks it's crazy? Maybe because technology has come so far that we really don't know the details of our grandparents' lives?
214. TD 214. Sorry.
You don't think we should know more about our grandparents and great-grandparents? That would be like Emmy and Ben's kids not knowing much about me. That sucks. That's like, so you're so, not forgotten, but you're so easily, the details of your life are so easily forgotten. You're not forgotten, but the things you've done are so easily forgotten. It's a wild thought. Leave notes. Tell your stories. Pass them along. Maybe they don't like to talk about the war, right? So I have one last story, not a war story. One last story, Spot, because our buddy Sean Wyman, super agent Sean Wyman. I agree, Lisa. I wish I paid better attention to grandparent stories, too. I tried to be good a couple years ago, right before my grandmother died. My grandmother died last year, my last remaining grandparent. And I tried to do a hell of a job being like, yo, grandma, the last like 5 times I saw her, I was probably annoying with the, hey, grandma, tell me an old story, because I sort of was trying to pick her brain knowing she wouldn't be here long. So one last story. I'll say one last time. Our super agent, Sean Wyman. As far as I know, he's still stuck in Dallas. Did you know that, Spot? American Airlines has canceled 2,200 flights.
I heard about that.
In between 5 and 10% of all of their flights because of people not wanting to work, people trying to make a point, trying to do their thing, and weather, which is, that's a bullshit loophole because airlines could get away with flight cancellations if they say weather. They're not liable for Mother Nature. It's a bullshit answer. Over 2,000 flights have been canceled. People are stuck in different parts of the country. Our super agent, Sean Wyman, should be back in Connecticut and New York doing business. He should be trying to book Covino and Rich our next gigs.
You can do business from anywhere these days.
Try to get some side hustle for Covino and Rich and Spot. But Sean Wyman's stuck in Dallas, sitting in an airport lounge for 2 days now. Said he just sat there. He's been sitting, chilling at the airport for a day or so. He was on hold with the airline for 4 hours. He showed me the screenshot. It was almost a game of chicken. He's like, I'm fucking waiting. 4 hours on the line with American Airlines. So I ask you, have you ever been abandoned in a random city? Have you ever been stuck? Have you ever missed a layover and had a fucking weird, crazy experience? Because the thing that comes to mind is a story I have with Spot, of all people. We missed a layover.
Was it
Atlanta?
Atlanta, that's right. Yeah.
This, knock on wood, this never happens. I've only in my lifetime missed like 1 or 2 layovers, and it sucks. I've had flights canceled where you're on the phone, like, oh, get me on the next flight. Then you're panicking and you're like, well, what are the options? Could you use a different airline? Yeah, you know what? You could use Newark instead of JFK. Like, you've done that. We've all done that little song and dance with the airline, and you're freaking out. Like, what do you mean my flight's canceled? I need to get there. Spot and I got stuck in Atlanta. And they're like, yeah, did they give us a voucher or were we on our own? Didn't they give us like a voucher for any of the airport hotels? Like some shit, I think.
Yeah, it was like they had the shuttle. They chose it.
Yeah.
We didn't choose.
They're like, yeah, there's like a few hotels, and it was really based on vacancy. And Spot and I were like the last to choose. And we stayed at some bunk airport hotel. And all I remember is Spot and I having to share a king-size bed. But what I remember, do you remember that the bed sheets were moist?
Yeah. It was like, it was...
Whoa!
It was humid.
It was so humid.
Obviously in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was humid, but the humidity was inside as well. You would think like AC would be running. It would kind of cut. No, it was moist. Dude, it was like, that's the only word you could use for
I remember
that.
thinking like, I'm not a hotel snob. I'll stay wherever. You and I have stayed a million. We've stayed in penthouse suite Spot, but we've also stayed in Red Roof Inns. Like
Yeah,
we're not, you know, I'll love to take the beautiful room on a business trip. But if you and I are just crashing somewhere, Holiday Inn Express, Embassy Suites, I'll stay anywhere. I've stayed at fucking La Quintas. I'm not picky. But I remember you and I crawling into this shared bed and being like, yo, dude, are your legs feeling like bed moisture? And I was like, they were like damp, moist bed sheets. And I remember feeling like, yo, Spot, if we get some type of weird disease or rash, pinpoint this moment because this is when it's happening. And we got a flight the next day. I remember we went to a Waffle House. Tried to forget that we slept in a moist bed.
Oh, there was a Waffle House across the street.
There's a Waffle House across the street everywhere you go.
That was the best part of the whole experience.
Yeah, at least we got to go to Waffle House the next day. Oh, but yeah. So anyone that's stranded, or if you know a family or friend that is stranded right now, you're not alone. 2,200 flights. Do the math on that bad boy, Spot. 2,200. 2,200 flights. Let's say
it's like the
180?
average. No, let's say
140?
average of like 100 people, because I'm sure some of those flights are like those express.
Yeah, that's over
50-person flights.
That's over 200,000 people stuck at airports around the country right now, being like, "Oh, where do I go? What do I do? Where am I headed?"
And do they have to do anything? Do they have to put you up? I don't think so.
A bunch of people.
I think it's just
sleep in an airport. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Those aren't pillows. Yeah, that was me. That was Spot and I. Spot and I were John Candy and Steve Martin. Ugh.
You were Steve Martin.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, there you go. American Airlines. You think people... I saw Joe Biden talk about how, like, more jobs are being created than ever. And, you know, people could play semantics with numbers. How do you fucking say that when it seems like no one's wanting to work anywhere?
What do they call it? The great something. What are they calling it?
Because you know what's happening.
I keep reading articles about it, and it's fascinating.
What's happening is that people are...
The great something. That's helpful.
People are realizing they want to go back to work, but you know what they're saying? Well, you know what I don't want to do? I don't want to go back to work and make the low wage...
Right. The great...
that I think I deserve more than. So it's like a standoff, right? It's like, but do you blame the worker or the companies? Like, I don't know what to blame, because do you blame someone that's saying like, yo, I'm not working for some shit wage. So what's going to have to happen is the great resignation.
Yes. Thank you. Whoever said that, thanks.
The great resignation. Everyone's saying it all at once now. Everyone's on 20-second delay.
The phrase has come to describe record levels of job turnover. But it's a radical rethinking of our relationship to work. That's what this article says.
It's
I've been reading a lot about it. It's like people, you know how we've been rolling our eyes at these young people that don't want to work.
Yeah.
And they're living in the moment, and they work for a day and they're like, this isn't for me, and they leave.
Yeah.
I think everyone is just kind of rethinking work.
Prices of labor have to go. You have to pay workers. I'm not saying me. I'm just saying you have to pay workers, because then they're also saying, well, inflation, everything's more money now. Everything's gone up in price. And they were saying that the proposed $15 minimum wage,
that's not even enough.
Is not even, like, based on the inflation. They're like, well, that should be the starting point now. So everything's fucked up. They're saying everyone's talking about $15. People fought about, should $15 be minimum wage?
Well,
now they're saying, well, fuck, if they agreed on that, the people making 15 would say, well, shit, I don't even know if that's enough. Maybe we'll just become NFT millionaires. What do you say, Spot?
Let me tell you.
Buy some NFTs?
In addition to watching Ted Lasso, I streamed a couple videos to my TV about NFTs. I felt like I was watching how to build a space station in your backyard.
Bro.
Like
I'm glad you feel that
way.
My
head.
I'm glad.
Like I'm glad. I understand. Okay, so I understand what an NFT is. I understand because it's been. I watched the video and they do use the same explanations. I understand what the blockchain is. An NFT is just an item that has a certificate of authenticity, but in digital form. That's it. That's all an NFT is. Okay.
You were telling me the other day that a Gucci NFT sold a picture of a Gucci bag, an NFT, a digital Gucci bag, sold in NFT form for more than an actual tangible Gucci bag.
And you say to people, well, how do you value a image? And then people's response is, well, how do you value the Mona Lisa? That's always everyone's response. How do you value the Mona Lisa? How does the Mona Lisa have value? That's what the definition of non-fungible. But I still don't understand how in a saturated market, these images or these collections are getting the popularity and the money, and then how are they being purchased and turned around?
I saw some kid on TikTok spot said,
into
I bought this
making
NFT.
money.
I bought this NFT for $5,000 and I turned around and sold it for $46,000. I made $41,000 profit. And I'm like, some kids are trading NFTs making.
They're the equivalent of trading cards. So you know how like Pokemons and actual some baseball cards have money. It's like these people make these collections, and what they'll do is like, let's say it's an image, like a cartoon version of my head, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
spot in pixelated form.
It's my cartoon head, but hold on. So this is what a collection is. So it's my cartoon head. Now you take my cartoon head and okay. So now there's a version of me that has funny glasses and a hat. Then there's a version of my cartoon head that has a beard with sparkles in it. Then there's a version of my cartoon head that has headphones on. And based on the rarity of how often glasses show up and how often headphones show up and how often my sparkles show up, make it more rare. And based on the rarity, that increases the value. And when these collections are being developed, you can buy them at a price, like a intro price, essentially. Yeah. And then they get quote unquote minted. And then once they're minted, the price goes up. So now your value of buying it early has increased. But who's turning around and selling it? I don't understand it.
Rolando said, I'm going to pay for shit with my NFT money from now on. Rocket Dog saying, NFTs make me feel so old and an out-of-touch idiot.
Yes.
Here's the question. Because
I can't wrap my brain around I understand it. I understand what it is.
Dude, but I don't.
I understand the process. I understand how it's done. I don't understand the value.
I want to get it so bad. I want to truly understand it so bad. And I'll tell you why. Because anyone resisting, anyone hitting us up saying, I'll never do NFTs. Who cares? Oh. Anytime something new infiltrates, let me tell you. It doesn't go away. Right? Spot. Cryptocurrency,
can I tell you
social media, all the things that people are like, fuck it, no. Take over. You can't can't resist you can't resist the direction a society goes in.
And so people are like, how do you prove? Like, it's just an image on the internet. Embedded in this image is proof in the blockchain. There's like a ledger. There's an online ledger that says this image is owned by you. What does that mean? Nothing. But it's still like, if you want to use it as a trading card, it's almost like it's like I have either the Mona Lisa or I have a poster of the Mona Lisa. I have the Mona Lisa, but it's a poster. I don't have the actual painting.
All right.
This actual painting has authenticity. It has a signature. It's like actual, you can validate that. So
right. I got a Tom Seaver that you guys got for me like a decade ago for my birthday. Yeah. I have a Tom Seaver autographed jersey. Yeah. Now, that is a tangible, authentic Mets jersey with the late deceased Tom Seaver's name written on it, with a letter of authenticity saying, Tom Seaver indeed signed this jersey. It's a physical thing.
Right. But it's also a non-fungible item. Because fungible, which I've watched so many videos now, it's like fungible.
Thanks for doing that, by the way, because I hit up Spot the other day, just for the record, everybody. I hit up Spot and I said, NFTs.
A fungible item is like, let's say a $5 bill, right?
Yeah.
You have a $5 bill. I've seen this example.
How about a $50 bill?
Okay, $50 bill.
$50 bill.
That is a fungible item, because you give me that $50 bill, I can either say, here's 10 fives or 5 tens.
Yeah.
Those are fungible items. Or, a coffee cup. You know that there's hundreds of these. They have value. It's been put up. The value of this is $5. It has fungible whatever. Non-fungible is the equivalent of art. It's like there's no intrinsic standard value. It's based on, how you feel about it, essentially.
I have a question. Do you think I heard,
but there's something to keep in mind, and this has to go based off. Talking is making me lightheaded. So I'm going to do this as quick as possible.
Yeah.
The whole meta thing last week with Facebook.
Yeah.
if you're unfamiliar with this, if you have kids, you probably know this. Start investigating these platforms like Roblox, or what's the other one? Where they're like worlds.
I don't even know.
I feel like social media, it seems like
People want to live in other worlds.
is headed into Ready Player One. If you've
yeah.
watched Ready Player One, which was a fantastic movie, and I might watch when I go home. I feel like we're headed to this point where we're all going to be not just posting things on a feed. We're going to be living inside these worlds, and our Facebook page will actually be a room where you go inside, and in that room, I have a picture of a Gucci bag hanging up, or I have that.
So you're saying like the equivalent would be if you went to my virtual room and I had a really expensive NFT, that would be the same. That would be the like going over someone's house and they're like,
Having
hey,
a
look
Jackson
at,
Pollock on
look
the
at this, look at that beautiful TV and table. Like they're just not material.
It's going to be it's going to be the equivalent of having a painting hanging on your wall, like a Degas or like a Picasso. It's going to be like going into your room and you, oh my God, this guy has what was that? The crypto guy? Dude, the one that just sold for like five.
I can't even, I'm having such a hard time.
So this is where we're headed, because I really do think that's what that's what the fucking alien who owns Facebook, now Meta, is heading towards. I think we're headed towards this virtual world, and this is the beginning of it. That's the vibe I get, and I'm too dumb to understand it.
I want to understand
I'm so
it.
dumb.
But see, a guy like Kyle, who's a smart guy, goes, these dumb NFTs will be worth what our baseball cards from the 90s are worth, nothing. And then I say to myself, says the same people that were like, musically, TikTok, fuck that. Social media, fuck that. So cryptocurrency, that's stupid. All the stuff that you deem stupid because you're stubborn.
I watched a video.
It's wild to me. I love that you watch these videos, because I did say to Spot the other day, I said, Spot, we all as a collective.
By the way, I absorbed way more than I thought I did.
We as a collective need to really think about this, because stupidest thing ever? Yeah, but don't care if it makes me sound like an old guy. That's from Cello Fellow. But what I'm saying is you're not old enough to be an old guy. You're a middle-aged guy, Cello Fellow. You're 40-ish, right? So what? You're not going to take advantage? Like our buddy Steve Ward from Tough Love? He hit me up the other day, and he's like, because he was talking about crypto, Spot. You okay?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath.
Okay, sorry. Mass doesn't help.
Relax for a second.
Oh,
so
go ahead. Because I have another thought. Don't let me forget
he was saying that this is an opportunity. What's happening right now, crypto, NFTs, all the stuff that many will roll their eyes at, right? Are the things that are going to be, there's going to be a small window of opportunity for you to create generational wealth for your family. Like if you're the person that's like, fuck NFTs, how stupid, then you're out. If you're the person that somehow embraces these dumb things that we don't get, but if you learn enough about it, this could be one of those things where you invest a little money now, and when you're sitting on your yacht, when you're sitting in your retirement beach house, you could be like, hey, why do I have this retirement beach house? Because I embraced NFTs reluctantly.
I don't find it. I mean, I do roll my eyes at everything. That's just me. But I have a hard time understanding.
Me too.
How it has value. Like, I don't know. It's like, cryptocurrency. I understand it because I don't understand how it values itself yet. But because it seems very arbitrary to me, but it's the equivalent of, okay, there's a crypto coin. It's like the stock market. It goes up and down. This is a digital art, but I don't understand how digital art has value yet. And I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. So one of the videos I watched, they likened the NFT craze, not saying it is, but it could be, to the .com boom of the 90s. Everyone was getting in on these .coms, these web companies. They were huge for a while, and then the bubble burst, right?
Yeah.
And when the bubble burst, like, a lot of people lost money and there was a lot of failure, but the internet continued. So we're almost in the early stage of when everything is new and everyone's all this money is circulating and there's a lot of value. It's possible this iteration of NFTs and digital and all that shit will burst, but I still think it's going to be around for a very long time. And the idea of it might restructure, based on where we are now, but it's not something that will go away. So you can't ignore it.
If you want to equate it to the .com bubble burst, there's still people that got out of that with generational wealth.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me right now,
your company, if you sold your .com company at the right time,
look at Mark Cuban.
You're sitting on gazillions.
Look at Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
Look at certain people. Like, I'm not saying it's that level, but Spot, if you and I would have invested in Shiba Inu a little earlier.
I got in a little early.
You did. You got in earlier than me.
Super early.
But if you would have put, if you would have took like a stupid chance and said, I'm going to put like 25 grand in Shiba Inu. And all of a sudden you're walking away with like $1 million if it hits like another decimal point. That's like the stupidest yet 2021 way for you to make generational money for your family. People said it's not worth anything unless someone's going to buy it. I could sell crypto right now and someone's going to buy it. It's not like a weird penny stock that like you get no buyers for. Right now, Shiba Inu is 0.00070. Right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to sell right now,
I made money.
I could sell. So it is sellable for the people that are like, well, if no one's going to buy it, people will buy it. Now,
so like Cliff brought up a good example. Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Like everyone thought those were there was a craze about them. They were valuable. Everyone thought they were going to, fund their lives with those. And that failed. This could be that. This could be something else. We don't know.
When major banks are now including crypto in their portfolios, what does that tell you?
Crypto's here to stay.
Yeah.
I do think and I found there was an interesting explanation in one of the videos that made me almost appreciate crypto a little bit more about the difference between crypto and how normal money works. So normal money, when you're buying a coffee, right?
Yeah.
You go to the Starbucks, you give them your card gets swiped, it sends a request to the bank. The bank says, okay, you have this money in your account. Then it transfers the money over to another bank, let's Starbucks' bank.
Yeah.
And then, so now the money is changed hands through that. The way blockchain works is it's a whole group of computers that keep these records of transactions. So what you're doing is you're eliminating the banks.
And that's why banks were reluctant at first. And I think now some of them have come around to the idea of like, well, maybe we incorporate this. It's wild.
It just seems...
I'm so glad that a guy like you, Spot, that I consider one of my smartest friends, the fact that you're having a hard time wrapping your head around it.
My head hurts just thinking about
because
it right now.
every time, my buddy Steve Ward, who does also love to point out that what does he love to point out? That he's in Mensa? He's a genius.
Good for him.
Good for you. But when he starts talking to me, you ever talk to someone and they're talking way above your head on certain things like, yeah, I've heard of that. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? He's telling me about all these blockchains and he's like, yeah, I'm telling you, if you put 20 grand here, within a year, it's going to be $1 million. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I need someone to tell me what to do. And I'll it's going to require way too much mental energy and research.
Maybe you know what, Spot? Then we're going to be sitting in our beach houses. You know what? I know how to generate an NFT collection. I could do it.
Oh, but what's the value of it?
I know someone. Covino and I had a meeting with someone that we're going to pick up with when everyone's recovered from COVID. And this person's like, I have a new thing that you and Covino could do with your listeners and supporters. And I'm telling you, guys could all make money and do a lot with NFTs. And I'm thinking, is our audience even open to the idea of NFTs? I don't even know. Is it a special interesting type of person that would buy an NFT?
I could easily turn I know a lot of our I would say a good portion of our listeners are of the age group where they're dabbling in crypto, especially after listening to the show. But if we valued it at a good price, I'm sure we could have fun with an internal sort of NFT market. But at the same time, it's like someone's going to buy the fart, but I'm still going to play it.
I have an idea. I have a thought, and tell me if this is. And we'll go after this. I know. Thanks for. By the way, everyone should thank Spotty and Covino for toughing it out. Covino on Fox Sports last night. Spot giving it his all. It just sucks. No one wanted fucking the vid. But what do they say? 1 out of 2.5 Americans has now had coronavirus. So if you haven't had it, it's coming for you. Half the country, 150 million plus people have had coronavirus.
The 2 R's are coming for you. The Rona and the rhythm.
The rhythm's going to get you, and the Rona's going to get you. We lasted quite a while, and hey, fucking, it got us, and I feel shitty about it. We all feel shitty about it, but I'm convinced that you're going to get it. Maybe not this year. Spot, you were saying what? Like this is an ongoing thing. It's not like the virus is going away. Well, hopefully it lessens and people have to get their shots or not. And in the future, you might just be like, oh, you sick? Yeah, I got the coronavirus. Like it's the same as people say, oh, I have the flu. So sadly, I think we are all going to get it. Much like Rick in that episode of Walking Dead at the CDC when he whispers to him.
I said that. I've said this for months. We all have it.
We're all going to get it. I think we're all going to get it. And I
thought he said your friend was nailing your...
Shane's banging your wife.
In the butt?
In the butt. But I think that...
Look it up.
I think we're all going to get it, which sucks, but I really do. I can't see how someone will forever avoid this thing. If you're going to live in society, if people are going to go to stadiums and work and gyms, and look at the World Series last night. There's 50,000 people in a stadium. Every football stadium's filled up. People are when people are doing this again. Everyone's gonna get it. It's just inevitable.
I realized I just got too cavalier. I didn't. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, but I mean, like everyone.
I got too cavalier.
Then I said, like, eventually
get used to this face. This is how I'm gonna look from now on. I have a mask on.
You can take it off. I told you it's okay.
Nah, I don't want. I'm carrying a virus.
Yeah, but I already had it.
I don't need to put it in your house. How do you know? Have you tested Ben?
Nah, I just figured.
Your wife's not positive, so why does she need to get it?
Okay, it's fair.
You've touched your wife, haven't you? Shame on you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she submitted to getting it and just never got it. Like she was like, listen, what am I going to do? Not be around my kids and husband? So it sucks.
Kristen had no problem going in the other room.
Yeah,
I'll see you in a week.
I mean, if we didn't have two little kids, we could have separated. I mean,
I'll see you in a week.
What are you going to tell your little kid that has corona? Emmy tested positive. What are you going to be like? Emmy, I don't want to hug you. Like, fuck it. You're going to get. Guess what? I now have it too. Come on, bring it on. Give Daddy a kiss. I'll get it too.
I'll see you later.
I'll suffer with you.
I'll be in the other room.
See you later. Goodbye. I have one last thought about the NFTs, and we'll say goodbye to everybody.
I don't understand it.
No. I thought of something that has value that's not a real thing. And I think it might be an example. I could be on the right track. Tell me if I'm wrong. This is a wild example. The fucking blue check mark on social media. There's no value in being verified, but people value it. So you're valuing a fucking blue check mark on social media. I'm not saying that's an NFT, but what I'm saying is it's the mindset of like, how could something like that have a value? But it does. People pay for that blue check mark.
So that would be considered a non-fungible item.
Yeah. So
because there's no standard value on it.
There's no standard value, but you know that some influencers paid for their blue check mark. You know that companies negotiate. SiriusXM probably negotiated with Twitter and Instagram and all those things like, hey, we got to get our hosts verified.
We've just never thought of the expression non-fungible.
Yeah.
But it is based on definition. It's an expression or a term that has existed. It's like a word that we've just never used in public.
Yeah.
Or no one's ever really used unless they're probably in finance.
Yeah.
But non-fungible is how you would describe many things throughout history. So it's not non-tangible, even though it sounds like it. Mm-hmm. It's non-fungible. It just means value is intrinsic.
You're such a funge guy. All right. Any other final thoughts, Spot?
Someone who's invested in NFTs hit me up so I can explain it better.
NFTs.
Tell me how to. I get it. Just tell me how to make money. That's all I need to know. Like I know how you make money in the stock market. I know how you make money with crypto. How do you make money with NFTs? Do I have to be an art dealer now? Do I have to understand that art world?
I'm looking at our feedback. People are funny. It's like there's going to be resistors and there's going to be people that embrace it. And then most of us are in the middle. Like, yo, I don't get it, but I sort of want to be involved. That's where you're sitting, right, Spot? You're like, I don't get it really, but I don't want to miss the boom.
I would gladly invest in the. It's risky. You can equally. It's much like a craps table. I feel like you can lose just as much money as you win.
Well, that's what the what do you call it? The cryptos that are the smaller tokens. You could put in $5,000 and your $5,000 could be $200 in 5 minutes. So your $5,000 could be $25,000 in 5 minutes. So yeah.
But like, I don't think like that. Like, I don't understand the resale value. Like that, we talked about it when I feel like it got a lot of popularity with that NBA Top Shop? Yeah. Where they were selling the highlights.
And
it became very mainstream there.
Tom Brady's talking about NFTs on football now.
Yeah. So I do wonder, okay, so I get a Tom Brady game-winning touchdown, right? Sweet, I got it. Now do I try and turn around and sell it to someone else for more money, and that's how I make money?
Dude, I don't know. And let's end it on that. By the way, Spot's not saying, by the way, people are thinking you said, he's not saying non-fungibos. What are non-fungibos? Like weird crooked boobies? No. Those are non-fungibos.
Well, they have like
one nipple here, one nipple here.
Weird nipples.
Oh, she's got some non-fungibos. Non-fungible. All right.
I just, like all the videos I watched, right?
Yeah.
They told me what an NFT is. They told me how to invest in an NFT. They told me how to sell an NFT, how to buy an NFT, how to make an NFT. But they didn't tell me how to make money on an NFT.
Well, there you have it.
That's where I'm like, as a person in the market, how do I make money? That's what I want to know.
Well, enjoy your NFT Monday night. You got Chiefs and the Giants tonight. Bounce back game for Patrick Mahomes. I guess we shall see. I'll call.
Sorry.
I hope to do my best tonight. I've had a rough couple of weeks. It's get well, Covino. I mean, Covino, I hope you're doing well. I hope you catch up on the show later. Get it? Catch up. Tonight. What are they, 10.5 point favorites? Yeah, Kansas City by 10.5. Kansas City's 3-4. They got to win tonight. They'll be 4-4. They'll make the playoffs. But are they the same Chiefs team? Their defense stinks. All right. And you know what? David Castillo, he said he'll post a video about NFTs on our Carl's Financial page on Facebook. That makes a lot of sense, he said. So.
I need to know how to make money. That's all.
Well, let's make money.
Tell me how to make money.
Multiple streams of income, bro. Multiple streams of income.
Tell me how to make money.
All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what the exact plan is.
Be on standby.
I'm going to make some phone calls. I'll call Covino.
I'm going to take a nap.
I'll tell him to give a little update on how he's feeling. And thanks for bearing with us. A new month. Spread the word about Covino and Rich. If you want Covino to feel better, you know what'll make him feel better? When he looks at our Patreon page and sees that our numbers are the same or growing. So spread the word, spread your cheeks, upgrade to tier 2. If you're not already there, we'll do a lot of behind the velvet rope this month because
I'll show my dick.
This month is going to be a wild one because we're going to be back in the studio together when everyone's healthy. Then I'm going to Texas.
And I'm going to show my dick.
Spot's going to show his dick. I'll probably do some behind the velvet rope stuff from Wurstfest in New Braunfels. So we'll do our best. There's your dick, Spot. Yeah, we'll do our best. And I'll call Stan. I'll call Zito or Nicole or Tudmaster Tommy, our buddy Nico. Maybe people want to do a little cameo, little what's up to give Spot a little breather himself. But Spot, way to cowboy up, as the Red Sox used to say.
I'm in it to win it, bro.
Get subscribers. Get the fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Get the non-fun.
Arrivederci, baby. See you in the promised land. All right, goodbye.